be tricky. Want to buy or sell a house, finance or insure a house, or stuck with a house and don't know what to do? Florida Talk Real Estate has been your local one-stop real estate shop since 2012. Get the advice you need from your local real estate pros. Here are your hosts, Jim DePola and Johnny C. live on Real Radio.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of Florida Talk Real Estate. We got you for the next 2 hours of infotainment. And thanks for being out there. Terrestrial radio, old school, we like to call that. 92.1, 101.7. I'm pretty sure they both still work. I was listening on the way in. Thank you for being there. And of course, if you have your free download, your iHeartRadio app, that's accepting technology into your life a little bit. Also makes us worldwide. You can be tuning in from any corner of the planet, and we appreciate you doing just that. Of course, speaking of technology, there's a little time spent in the morning in the studio here setting up some cell phones, because those are cameras basically now at this point. And stands and lights, all kinds of accoutrements for like a professional broadcast. We live stream on Facebook, Florida Talk Real Estate on Facebook. If you're there, thank you. If you're not, you can at any time join. Of course, on YouTube as well, Florida Talk Real Estate LLC, home of a ton of informational chunk videos and a live stream on a Saturday. If you're there, thank you very much. If you're not, again, you can join at any time. Speaking of joining, you can join the program live on this 6th day of June, otherwise known as my beautiful bride's birthday. Thanks for being there, beautiful bride. 877-927-6969. I do not anticipate a phone call from her, but you're welcome to join with questions, comments, concerns in the world of real estate. If you do join in, the first voice here, the melodious tones of our producer extraordinaire. There's my brother from another mother. What up, Jimothy?
Hello, and good morning, gentlemen. Happy birthday, T, and welcome. Here we go.
What's up,
another Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Get to it.
Get it all over your face. Johnny C., that's me, your old buddy, your old pal. Air traffic control on a Saturday. The very important people include Mike Rao, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. Hello, my friend.
Good morning. I didn't know it was such a big day today.
Oh, big day.
The bride of Johnny C.
Big day.
Ooh, there's a movie.
How'd it go so far? How'd it go so far? Did you wake up and go get flowers first thing?
First thing.
Yeah.
You know, big flower guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's
Flower
more.
comes in
It's
a
not
bag.
about you, Johnny. It's about T. Is T a
Say
flower girl?
I'm so glad you're there, Jimothy, by the way.
What'd he say?
He said, yeah, it comes in a bag.
Now make some pancakes.
No,
Yeah.
I do not bother my bride on a Saturday morning.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep, I leave
Any Saturday, especially this one.
It's her chance to kind of have a little
Sleep in
time.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm as shh as I can be. I know I wake her up
Listen,
several times.
As far as gifts go, that's a pretty good one.
That is a good one,
Yeah.
right? Hey, why don't you just shut the hell up? Make it seem like you're not here. I can do that, sweetie. You got
Okay,
it.
no problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy birthday, Tiff.
Yeah.
Your Tiff.
My Tiff.
Yep.
Nice to see you, my friend.
You too.
Really good to see Ross Camaronets with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. I feel like it's been an eternity. Why does it feel like it's been so long, dude?
I think it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's why. That's
I know.
far too long.
I know.
Far too long.
Well, I
weeks-
had to
2
go out of
weeks without
town.
seeing Ross is tough for a lot of us.
A lot of us. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can always go back to YouTube and watch some of the replays.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Thank
Where
you
do they
for
go?
highlighting that. And I wish I'd have known that, a week ago when I was just longing for you.
Well, now you know, and
Yeah.
you can go home today and still watch it.
I say it every week. I should have known. I just don't retain my own words, evidently. I don't even know what I say.
I mean, your brain was going crazy.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much. It's good to see you. I hope things have been well.
Yeah. Thank you. You too. Yeah,
Good,
things are
good.
going great.
And of course, Jimmy D's here. He's our fearless leader. 14 plus years now. I've told you he runs a top producing Keller Williams team. It's the Home Pros team, Keller Williams Innovation. Jimmy D, Jim DePola, how you be?
Hey, happy South Florida, everybody. I hope you had a good week. I'm tired. I'm tired.
You are.
I'm very
I feel
tired.
it. I feel it.
I had 3 closings this week, so
Nice.
that was good.
Is Johnny going to tell you to put the mic like
I'm not.
closer?
I'm not. He's tired.
He gave up.
Oh, he's tired.
He's given up. It's been 14 years. I'm done. If he doesn't know by now, forget it.
He did see it. He did think it.
I did. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, it
Today's
doesn't
not the
matter.
day.
It's
It
Jim's
just
birthday
doesn't
too.
matter.
Just going to leave him alone.
He had 3 closings this week.
He earned it. He earned it.
He can get way back here
Yeah.
for 2 hours.
I'll crank it up. I'll
You know
play
what?
with the dials.
I'm going to do it with him in honor of Jimmy D. I'm just going to sit back here.
Yeah,
and
we're all
celebrate
gonna-
the show today. Yeah.
He's making Jimothy work for a living. I'll tell you what.
Hey guys.
How much more volume you got on that pot, Bubba? Crank it up.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's been pretty busy at the Florida Home Pros. Everything's rocking along. We've had one of the things I wanted to bring up today was how much I appreciate you guys.
Ooh.
Do you ever see those TV shows or like things where the spouse is taking the other spouse for granted, and then after, it's like a cheesy sitcom or something, and then at the end the spouse has an awakening that the other spouse is great and they're just so happy to be with them and everything?
Oh,
That's the way I feel with you guys right now,
Nice.
because the two of my closings were just a complete mess. Because of the mortgage company. That mortgage company was the worst mortgage company I worked with in a long time.
Ooh, you got names?
I wish. I would really, really like to put it out
not
there.
the mortgage firm.
Not the mortgage firm,
The
right?
mortgage company.
Mortgage company.
Now, Jim,
And,
just for a second, you're describing this like the TV show, the sitcom. I'm wondering, is it what era? Is it like? Are you thinking like
I'm thinking
honeymooners,
probably
like black
80.
and white?
Oh, thanks,
or
Mike.
Is it like, is it colored? Is it this show that you're
I take
relating
this all
to?
back. I take it all back. Forget it. I don't appreciate you at
No.
all.
Well, we just need to know. We need to know for aesthetics. Like, is beating your wife acceptable in a sitcom?
Can you
Yeah.
hear anything?
So
Or is it silent?
let me just explain what this mortgage company did, because I really thought it was crazy. Okay, now that it closed and everything, I could talk about it, right? So every time I was the listing agent on a property, every time I get an offer, even if there's 18 like there were on this property, I have to call. If they're financed, I called every single mortgage company, loan officer or mortgage broker, and asked them, questions about what they did to qualify the person for the loan, and making sure that they did the things that you would want to see done, right?
Yeah, because you don't want to find this out at closing that they didn't do anything, right? You're
And-
doing massive due diligence on, which seems above and beyond on your end, at least from my perspective, to make sure you can close.
You try to do the best you can, and I really try to grill them politely, unless they give me attitude. And this person didn't give me attitude. And we talked about everything, and he said, one of the basic questions I have, besides making sure to check that they've already verified income and employment and stuff like that, but also I ask them, are they W-2 employees, or are they self-employed, and are they going to be using any side gig money like Uber or something like that on the side? Because all that can become a little complicated, and we just want to know up front. And he was like, this is so straightforward, it's so easy, blah, 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 blah. Well, and they offered a lot more money than everybody else offered, right? So this offer was the one we wanted to take. Well, we got, as we approached the loan commitment, the loan commitment is after you get into the deal, you already have a loan pre-approval, but then you need the loan commitment, right, Mike? So explain what the loan commitment is different from the pre-approval letter you give when you first turn in the offer compared to the loan commitment, because there's
Let's-
really 3 phases.
Yeah. Jeez, sorry. I think probably you start the loan commitment. It comes from a contractual obligation, which basically says, hey, you're getting a loan. You have X amount of days to get your loan applied for, and then get underwriting approval for the loan. And then once that deadline comes and goes, like, you're expected to have your loan approved. It's not fully clear to close, but at least it's been underwritten and approved. And then you no longer have that contingency in your contract, meaning like the contingency is a requirement. In order for you to proceed with the deal and get to the finish line, you got to get a loan. You got to get the loan approved by a certain date. Once that date comes and goes, you can't like get out of jail free. You can't just back out, right, of the deal. But yeah, so that what that means in my world is the loan has been submitted for an underwriting review. The underwriter has approved the loan, and then there's always like what we call final conditions, or kind of like it's the first time the underwriter's seeing the file most times. And so they'll say, hey, I've reviewed everything, but get me this. Let's finalize insurance, for example, all of these things. But it's been underwritten and approved.
And so what happened was they have a certain date to do that. and this guy busted the date by far. And then
Did they extend it?
we had to extend it 3 times,
At least they're asking for that.
right? So
Or
we
did
had,
you guys ask?
no, we were bugging them. So we had to extend it 3 times, right? The agent was awesome. The buyer's agent, she was great. But it was this mortgage guy. So we were having a big problem with that. It was really bothering us because the sellers wanted to close within a certain time. They were nervous at that point because we weren't far enough along. So they told me that they wanted to close before June 1st because they wanted not to be for hurricane season. Right? So we were trying to close before June 1st. So what happened was we had to extend it 3 times. It was very rough. The mortgage broker was pretty lackadaisical about everything, and they were complaining that it was the underwriter, and they are not a direct lender. And when they're not a direct lender, I asked them, "Have you used this? Lender before? And do you have a relationship with the underwriter in the past? Like, have you used this particular lender a bunch of times?" They said, "Yeah, no problem." Well, there was nothing but problems. And then the part that bothered me so much, he just didn't seem to be very concerned about everything. There was no sense of urgency on anything. So then the next thing that happened, because everything was late on that, then we had to have the appraisal done. And the appraisal, they supposedly ordered it, but it was 2 weeks before they brought out any appraiser. We were calling them all the time. How come we're not getting a call for the appraisal to come out? How come we're not getting a call for the appraisal to come out? Right? All that's happening.
Was the so that it was a broker
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't like, so the mortgage firm is a direct,
direct
lender,
lender.
which means all of the loan application approval and funding is within the mortgage firm, right? Like we're doing that, we're in charge of that. I can get the boss of underwriting on the phone in 2 minutes, right? I could call her right now and she would probably pick up. And if you're a broker, you don't have that. You're basically we're all like middlemen in some sense, right? I'm kind of a middleman, right? I'm the guy who evaluates your stuff up front, make sure we can get to the finish line with as much certainty as possible or as early as possible. Brokers are doing the same thing. They just don't have that ability to like call the boss of underwriting on a Saturday morning if they wanted to, right? Like, and so your question, like, how much experience do you have with this particular wholesaler or this particular channel, wherever they've decided to kind of like place the underwriting and funding of the loan? And I would say it's very hard. It's difficult to enter into like a close relationship with that staff, the underwriting staff, unless you're doing huge volumes of loans with them, which probably isn't the
Probably
case.
wasn't happening.
Was this broker local at least? Was it Florida based?
He was.
Okay.
Yeah, because that would be another big red flag.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then we finally got the appraiser out. Love that appraiser. She was such a quirky character. 83 years old,
Wow.
and she's still working as an appraiser,
Good
right?
for her.
Wow.
It took her like
That's
2
awesome.
minutes to get out of the car.
Oh, you
God
can tell she
bless
was
her.
83 too.
Yeah.
Not one of those
It took
83s where you're like, get out of
How
here.
long did it take her to get down from the attic?
Well, that's
No?
so funny you're bringing that
Yeah.
up because that's exactly the problem that happened.
Oh.
We had a great conversation. She had this full life. She's done all these different things in her life and everything. She was a production crew member with the Production Guild for I was part of the Writers Guild a long time ago for Screenwriters Guild and all that.
Oh, so you guys
She
hit
was
it
in
off.
so she was in the production
She's single?
guild. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She was a production
Slow
guild
down.
person. And she reminded me of I know now I'm dating myself, so Mike's gonna have fun with this one. So have fun with this one, Mike. Remember the show Bewitched?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember the aunt, the funny, quirky aunt that always, when she made spells, they came out wrong. There was one of them that
All right.
she always had the wrong spell, so she'd try to do something and it turned into a comical farce, right? So she kind of reminded me of that, right? But we got through the whole thing. They paid. We really kvetched a lot to the mortgage broker, so they ended up paying a
Kvetched.
yeah. I wanted to say the B word, but so
Complained?
yeah, complain. I
Okay.
think of that.
Kvetched.
Yeah, right. So we made them pay for an expedited appraisal because they took so long for the loan commitment. Well, we're waiting for the appraisal, waiting to come back, even to come back after she left. Then I get a call the mortgage company's calling me, asking me what happened to the appraisal. I'm like, really? So then 3 days after that, I get a call from the appraiser. Hey, I didn't know this was an FHA property financing. I didn't go up the attic and take a picture, and I need that picture. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I could either go over there and take the picture for you, and then I can send it back to you if that's okay, or I could just meet you at the house and we'll just, I'll be there and get you in and you can take the picture. And she goes, I really don't want to do that. Maybe I'll just take a picture from another attic and just submit it in there. And she's
Get outta
telling
here.
me this, I swear. And she's telling me this, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I kept telling the mortgage company guy, you need to get to a new mortgage company. Your mortgage company stinks. You got to go work at another mortgage company, right? Because everything in it was taking too long. Everything was wrong.
And he was saying it's nothing to do with him. It had to do everything to do with the lender.
He was really calm about the whole thing. He's like, there's nothing I could do. We just got to wait. We're totally out of,
This is his normal. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I have no way of speeding things up. I've already asked.
so
I can't push.
we finally
Taking a
got
nap.
everything done. We're supposed to close a week ago yesterday, maybe even longer back than that, maybe like Wednesday, a week ago last Wednesday. And not closing. Why? Because they don't have the lender package ready to put forward, right? So now we don't have the lender package to give to the title company to close. The title company is a very well-known title company in Palm Beach County, not Trident. Very well-known title company. Person has an impeccable reputation. The attorney's attorney-backed. He's not a mess-around guy. He's like, if you don't give me the package in time, we're not going to close on time. Well, the buyer had to leave to go out of town. And they really wanted to sign everything before they left. But because the lender's package wasn't coming and the title company wasn't really ready to take like a lender package and in 15 minutes, put it all together, they were like, no, we're going to have to pick another date. So then they talked about out-of-state closing. Because
Who was leaving? The buyer?
the buyer had to leave out of
Okay.
town. And they picked the type that they were leaving based on when we were supposed to close.
Sure.
And of course, that all didn't happen because the mortgage company.
I mean, listen, these contracts with the close dates and the commitment dates, like those are all dates that you should be paying attention to. And the close date, especially because people are planning their lives around.
and
the state.
the mortgage company just didn't really care. And I'm arguing with the mortgage company person on behalf of the buyer now.
Sure.
Right now, I'm saying like, I can't believe you're handling this way with your buyer. This is your customer. And this is how you're treating your customer. And I don't see any sense of urgency from you. You're not trying to do anything. It's like, oh, well, it'll happen when it happens. Right. And I kept saying, you need to go to a new mortgage company. It's really getting nasty with them.
It's
the day
probably
before we
not-
closed, I found out he owned the mortgage. He was the owner and the broker of the
Oh,
mortgage
yeah, but
company.
as a broker, he's
Yeah.
So he could go anywhere for like he probably has 10 different wholesale channels that he would like
Probably. Yeah. Right.
compare regularly and then choose which one to go.
Mhm.
And sometimes the choice is like, hey, I know this is the easy path, or hey, I know the underwriting over here is going to be clean. But I'll tell you what, all of those things that you just mentioned are, I would say, very common things that we're dealing with on my side.
Well, wait.
But you're
this
usually-
is- no. This is with a final thing, and then
Yeah.
you might
But-
change your mind before you say this.
But wait, there's
Yeah,
more.
wait, this is the final thing. The day before we were supposed to close, a week ago Thursday, he said, yeah, we're just not going to get the lender package in on time. So then the title company said, great, we're not closing this week, right? We can do a mail away or we could close next week when you give me the lender package. So then I call him on Friday and said, do you have the lender package in for next week? No, we decided not to turn in the lender package this week because we're not closing. So we're going to turn it in next week. And I said, but the title company has already told you they need at least one full business day before they can close. So why don't you turn the package in today like you were supposed to? And then maybe we can close on Tuesday. But if you turn it in on Monday or Tuesday, we're not closing till later in the week. And you're already 4 days late for the closing. Did not care at all. Did not care at all. And I couldn't, and the title company, when I met to close yesterday. Even the attorney says, I can't believe that he didn't want to turn in the lender package on Friday because, quote, we weren't closing that day. So, oh, well, we'll just push it off to next week. And when I called the guy, and that's when I was yelling at him that he needs to fire his mortgage company, go work for another mortgage company. I go, your mortgage company sucks that you work for. You need to go someplace else. And I had no idea. I guess he thought I was probably insulting him on purpose. I was insulting him not on purpose. I was actually giving advice. But his attitude was, I go, I cannot believe that you're putting your buyer in this situation. Now they're talking about flying back from where they were flying to be out of town. Now they got to fly back just to close. You're costing them all this money. You already had to expedite the appraisal because everything was screwed up. So that cost them money. I go, you're just making them hemorrhage money, right? Just didn't care at all.
No cares.
Did not care. But we did close it, so that was a good thing.
That is a good thing.
So-
Eventually,
Maybe it goes to show. Maybe I'm just stressing too much over these details.
Yeah, you should just say, yeah, don't worry about it. It'll
Fine.
close
It
when it'll
happens
close.
when it
well,
happens.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
so
So I hear some things. I would say all of that stuff could happen on any loan file, as far as like, okay, there's issues with the appraisal schedule. And maybe there's issues with the appraisal report. We might have to call AJ. I don't know if you're allowed to do that whole picture swap thing with the different house. There's probably doesn't seem.
you don't think that's
I don't-
you don't
I
think
don't-
that's the thing?
I don't think so. But it's certainly
They need a picture of the actual attic, just not a attic.
an attic. It definitely is efficient. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like
It's all
appraisal
Getty
revision.
images in the corner.
But, you know, having to get conditions or like have several rounds of underwriting until everything is clear to close. That's very common. The closer, like every lender is going to have a closing team or a closer who is responsible for balancing numbers with the title company and then preparing the lender package and, you know, sending the closing package to title. Title oftentimes be like, hey, we like 24 hours or we want 48 hours. Technically, they could do it in 15 minutes, Jim, but nobody wants to be in that spot, right? They want to go
Right.
through their process and make sure everything is right. But I would say all that stuff happens on every single loan. The question is like, how complicated is it? And how much are you insulated from it? Because all you care about is like, are we meeting our deadlines and are we going to close on time? There's oftentimes a mad scramble to get the file clear to close, to get the package
Mhm.
over to title in time and all of that stuff. And it's all happening. But it's only when you miss those things and then you have to start saying, oh, maybe tomorrow or hopefully the next day. And you're already late. Like you don't want to be in that spot.
No.
And it sounds like that's what you got into. And then they were just like, yeah, that's just
Yeah,
the way
whatever,
it is. It's just the
whatever.
way it is.
right?
And at the end of
It's
the
like-
day, his attitude is like, listen, we're closing. So I'm sorry we're late, but we're closing. And what's most important? And at the end of the day, you guys were kind of stuck with that. Like, yeah, of course, we got to close. Thanks, buddy. Right? Like,
when,
thanks.
when
Mike's
I got,
sticking up for his brethren.
well,
bit at
when-
the end.
I can
well,
see it all
no,
happen.
it's the lackadaisical, no worries about any consideration for anybody else other than, oh, well, nothing I can do about it. I'm like, really? And when we got into it a little bit, he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because I actually raised my voice when he actually said to me, since we're not going to be closing this week, I'm not turning in the package this week. That's when I went off, right? And
It's
then
such a weird way of saying that because he's brokered out. There's a wholesaler who's doing this. Once they get clear to close, that file will move to a closer. The closer does all of that. It's not like, even when I'm on a brokered loan, it's not like they're sending me the package and I'm reviewing and packaging it up and doing everything and organizing and send it to the title company. No, there's a closer at the broker channel, at the wholesaler
Right,
who's
that-
doing it.
You're just
So
saying
it's just-
go.
You just like, so the real
But what
situation
he
is,
said to me was, it's funny that you said that because what he said to me is, I'm not going to have my staff work on this today when there's no need.
Right.
That's what he actually said to me.
Yeah.
And I go, what the heck is wrong with you? Right. I actually, was pretty upset. And he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're a team. We're all working together. And I go, no, we're a team. Your buyer's agent is awesome. The buyer's been working with us. The sellers are working with us. I'm working. The title company's working with us. You're the weak link. You're not on the team. A team member doesn't say, oh, well, I know that we blew the deadline. So since we're not closing because I blew the deadline, I'm not going to turn the package in until next week. that's ridiculous. That's not being on the team, right?
Right.
And
it sounds ridiculous because he probably had not a single team member working on the closing package.
I'm sure
There's
right.
a closer
Yeah.
at the wholesaler who's doing
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So
So anyway,
interesting.
I did and then I don't want
He
to
wasn't lying. His team was not working on that package.
Yeah. Oh no, and I had another situation this week where the closing was just very, very rough because of a title company was just for Scott's case, Scott closed yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and the title company had a problem wiring his money to his account because the title company's account was screwed up
Oh, fun.
and they wouldn't take the wire. And Scott had to like text me like 3 or 4 times yesterday. He's like, I hope this check clears on the sale of the house.
Mm.
So when
Finally
I
went
was
through.
watching all these companies, I'm like, I'm so glad I have Trident Title and the mortgage firm and Brightway, Juno Beach, Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach, because we just don't operate that way, right? And we always we do have problems once in a while that we got to solve, but nobody just goes, oh well, que sera, sera. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll just roll the dice and see what happens.
I mean, listen, if I was a broker, I could see that being the case a lot. Like, hey, listen, I have no control. I have no way to get this sped up. I have no way to like turn this around quicker. It's going to take what it takes. Right.
Couldn't you, why couldn't you call up the company that you hired that's making the money
So-
to say, hey, we have a deadline. Can you meet our deadline, please?
Because it'll be something like you call your rep over there or maybe a manager or something like that. And they're like, okay, we've got a stack of files that we just go through. Like, we're working on 300 files this, whatever,
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
You took our deal and you knew, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. You took our file and you knew the date we were supposed to close. And you had an obligation when you took this to close it on that time.
Yeah,
and
Jim,
you're
but
not,
you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You're the loan originator. Like
Ah.
we have our turn time. So we have underwriting turn times. It's 36 hours
see,
for initial
and
submission.
that's probably
right?
what happened.
I
That
can't get you a
mortgage guy.
closing package, Jim. We're not even clear to close.
Yeah.
Why are we clear to close? Well, you're not giving everything we need to clear the conditions, right? So it's you who's doing it wrong.
Because
Not
I
us.
need the attic picture.
Oh.
I just thought that was so funny when she said that out loud. I was like, do you realize you just said that
Said
out
it
loud?
out loud, yeah.
I mean,
You said
listen,
that out loud.
heard
I
you.
feel bad that it's after 83 years, she can't be an appraiser anymore because she's been outed. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't
Like,
say
just-
names or anything.
she's Jim forced her into early retirement.
Yeah.
Right.
Early retirement.
Early. Keyword early.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
she had a good run.
but I think the most important part, though, Jim, was you said 3 closes this week. They all they
Yeah,
all
so
closed.
let's do just real
That's good.
quick shout outs. Also, by
How
the
many
way,
was I involved in?
Greg
One?
and Diane are saying, thank God that our daughter and son-in-law are using you for closing on their deal. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
Liesel.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, so they were just
They've
thank you
got
for the shout out.
deadlines. Appraisal has been ordered. We should have it.
Our buyers are treated correctly.
Yeah.
So let me just do a couple shout outs. So we're going to round this out, and then we'll, on the flip side, we're going to talk about Florida property taxes and find out who was right last week, me or Johnny. I don't like this segment, but we're going to do it.
Get used
No.
to it.
Yeah. So I should be used to it by now. Just give a couple shout outs to Tim and Karen. We did get the deal closed yesterday. We got the closing yesterday. Everybody was really happy. This is the one we had the problem with the mortgage. We didn't close by June 1st, but we closed not before the first named storm, because that already happened. But at least they don't have to worry about hurricane season. Really, really happy for them. Thank you so much. She gave me, Karen and Tim gave me and Nancy and I, these really wonderful
You had it right the first time.
chocolates. No, Nancy and I.
Gave me and Nancy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Gave me and Nancy. You're right about that, Mike. Gave us really nice baskets of chocolate. Oh my gosh, it was so good. My mom enjoyed it very much.
Nice.
So thank you so much, and thank you for trusting us. That's the second deal I've done with Tim and Karen over the years, and maybe another one's coming up soon. So thank you so much for trusting us.
Yes.
Scott and Suzanne, thank you so much for protecting Johnny in Rockville that he didn't get injured during the music concert, and for trusting us to sell the condo. I was very happy with that deal because two things happened. Number one, Scott is a great contractor. He went in there and just made that unit really nice, really fast. It was an estate sale, and the unit was very tired. So in order to get it sold, I gave him some advice what to do. He went above and beyond. And that's what got the unit sold, because many of those units are taking more than 150 days to sell over there in Margate. It was 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 55 and over community condo. So there was a lot of properties. Because he did a nice job fixing it up and agreed to my recommendation of what to price it at, we got an offer, I think, within, I might be wrong about this because I'm not looking, but probably 10 days or less. And they closed in the time that people are just getting ready to start like marketing their property hard over there. So thank you so much for that.
Sweet.
And also Paul and Anna. Paul and Anna bought a really nice home in West Palm Beach. It's going to turn into an Airbnb. They're such a great couple. You haven't met the kids, Mike, but I only met 3 of their 4. They're all little munchkins. They're probably like, I don't even think one's 2 yet, but let's just say 2, 4, and like maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Like they're just popping them out, right? But that family is awesome. They found me not through the show. They called off of one of the signs in the neighborhood on one of my properties. They were looking really hard for a property. They were kind of new here from Oregon. And I talked to him on the phone for a little bit and said, this is how we do it to find your house. Over the phone, he's like, you're hired.
This is how
And when we met him, he said that he was working with another realtor without a signed contract, which he shouldn't do. The agent, not the buyer. Buyer could do what they want.
a sign like a buyer
agreement.
Okay.
Yeah. And after he started talking to me and explaining how I would find the property for him, he dumped that person and came on to me. We showed 13 properties in one day. 13 because they only had 48 hours to find a house, and then they were going back to Oregon.
Yeah, they had a very tight deadline for like
Everything.
decision making. So it's like, hey, are
Everything.
we buying or are we not buying?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll buy, but only if we can do it in this window of time. And so it was a lot of like, let's get it done, which you kind of like on one hand, because like you don't want to show 13 properties every day to every,
Mhm.
but if the goal is to like pick one of them, that's a nice day, right? Like you've
Yeah.
done it one day, you found the home, you made the offer, you started negotiating. Like that's a good efficient use of the house hunting, right?
Yeah, it really was. And the thing that was interesting, we picked 2 properties and we were going to go back and comp them at the office and then figured out which one we were going to turn an offer on. And as I was comping one of the properties, they saw this bright yellow house, the picture of a really bright yellow house. And they both said at the same time, what about that one? Right? We hadn't even seen that house. And I go, well, that house isn't in our list because it's not in your price point. And they go, well, we really want to see it. And so we went over there to take a look at it that day, fell in love with it. And then we got them into contract like the next day. They were in contract to get that house.
Nice.
So thank you, Paul and Anna, for trusting us. We're probably going to be doing several of the deals in the future with them. So
Great.
thank you all, everybody. One more shout out to Paul. I met with Paul last week. I sold a property, his next door neighbor. I sold a house for a next door neighbor. We talked a couple months ago. Now he's decided he wants to sell. And he interviewed, I think, 3 other agents besides me and ended up selecting me. So thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. I can't wait till we get your house on the market and get it sold. It's going to be a really nice 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome in the West Palm area, with the little courtyard in the front and 2-story. Going to be really nice. I can't wait to get that one on the market to get that sold for him. So thank you, everybody, for trusting us. I have another. Also,
I like Paul's style, by the way. I say it all the time. You
Yeah.
should interview a few people. Jim's not
Yeah.
scared of the competition.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
look
fi-
at the back of the score, the baseball card there.
Yeah.
Show me your stats. Show me your stats.
Well, actually, one of them creamed me. I was
But
I
hey,
was up against a Babe Ruth, if you will.
But they're out there.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it was the number one guy in my office from my previous office. So he dwarfs me in amount of sales, but
But where was he
His-
at really in his career arc? Because Babe Ruth had a peak, and then the
No.
later years kind of
he's
fell
probably
off a
he's
little bit.
probably plateaued, but he's at such a high level. But he has. I've had one expired listing in 18 months in a 25% expired listing market. I've only had one in 18 months. He has expired listings every single day, and he gets a lot of complaints. So I'm glad.
Volume doesn't mean everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, volume, he does move properties and he's a good guy and I really like the guy, but his customer service, at least I haven't talked to him in a long time, so maybe it's straightened up, but reputation wise, I think that we compete very well, maybe not number wise and results wise. We definitely, for our customers, we do great. So, Paul, you're going to get that result from us too. And Stefan, thank you so much for hiring us. Stefan's got an interesting case. This house is going to be so nice. I can't wait to put it on the market.
Is this the Stefan I'm thinking of?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, shout out.
And yes, Stefan, he's worked
Nice.
with Mike for refis and
Yeah, a couple
purchase in the
loans,
house and everything. So now Stefan is going to be moving back to his home country and it's time for him to sell. And he needs money to fix up the house. So we are going to next week get him into a company. Remember when Brett was here, Brett Caldwell, our broker for our office? There's a loan you can get called a seller's edge loan, where you can get up to $50,000 non-secured, no hard hit on your credit, to personal loan to fix up the house, and then you pay the money back at closing. You don't have to make any monthly payments.
That's through Keller Williams, right?
It's through
Yeah.
Keller Williams only. And Chris and I are going to be meeting with that loan company next week to find out how it's all going to work, because he's our first one. I got
Cool.
3 other people thinking about seller's edge. So if you're thinking that you need to sell your house, and let's say you need a new roof, but you can't afford the roof, or let's say that you need to do some repairs to the house, this loan will allow you to use this money to repair the house, and you pay it back when you close. But you have to sign an agreement with the Keller Williams agent to qualify for this loan.
Sure.
And one of the things I found out is Keller Williams has such a good reputation with this loan company that most other brokerages, the customers have to have a minimum 680 credit score to get this loan. Keller Williams only needs a 640 according to the company, because we close so much. Like we always close.
Why do they care about credit score?
I don't know, but they do have I guess because it's an unsecured personal loan. I'm guessing. And because it's not attached to the house at all. There's no like lien on the property or anything. This is a true personal loan. And I'm going to find out more about it next week, Mike, when we actually go through the full process. But thank you, Stefan, for trusting us. I can't wait to see the results. He's doing a beautiful job on this home he bought. It was a mess when he bought it, and it's going to be gorgeous when he's done.
So the idea there is like, okay, you're going to spend money to fix it up, and you're going to at least get your money back, if not more, right? Like you could
Yeah.
spend money, and then maybe it doubles. Like you could double that money essentially
Well,
because of the
yeah,
appeal
So for
when you're going to
example,
sell.
let's say that you need a new roof and your roof is really old, okay? And then you're putting on that brand new roof, and then when you're selling your house, you're saying 2026 roof,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's going to draw more traffic, and you're probably going to do much better than other houses that the buyers are looking at that got a 15-year-old roof or a 20-year-old roof.
Right.
So there can be sometimes you're going to make more money because of it, and sometimes your house is going to be selected to purchase over the other homes because of the upgrades that you put into it. Now, this loan's not for everybody, and that's the first thing I put out to anybody that requests this loan. This loan is not for everybody, and you really need some professional advice on where to spend the money, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to put in that new kitchen. That makes me really nervous when people want to do that, because usually you don't get the full amount from the kitchen. If you put a $35,000 kitchen into a $400,000 house or a $450,000 house, you're not necessarily going to make $45,000 or $50,000 more for that new kitchen,
But
right?
things like a roof, AC,
AC,
maybe clean up and paint, maybe some
clean up and paint,
landscaping.
dirty carpeting, like rip out the carpeting and put in new carpeting or new flooring, stuff like that. That's where you should put the money. So one of the benefits of using us is not only can you get access to this money, but we'll sit down and give you advice on where to put the money so that you don't overspend and become disappointed with the process.
Yeah, that's valuable.
Yeah. So thank you so much for everybody. And thanks everybody from the show. Referrals are the lifeblood of our business. And a lot of the people I'm talking to right now are either repeat customers or referrals that we got from other people. And that's lifeblood of our business. So please keep them coming for Ross, keep them coming for Mike, keep them coming for me. You don't have to buy a house. Mike does refis. We're going to get you with Mike. You don't have to work with me. We're going to get you to Ross to do auto insurance, life insurance, house insurance too. Ross, I hear you do house insurance.
Yeah, we just looked into it, started it last week. We're
Did
doing
you?
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think
how
that's gonna
much
do good with it.
Doing
in
pretty
1
good,
week?
yeah.
How much money have you saved customers this year?
Oh, I got to
One
look
week?
that up. I got to look that up.
Oh, you haven't.
Well,
found
Chris has been out of town for a week, and
Slacker.
she usually keeps that track of that statistic for us. So I haven't.
Where were you at the last number you remembered?
Chris remembers too.
180,
Does all
185,
the
somewhere
remembering.
around there.
185. Hey, that's not enough.
Yeah,
We're trying
I
to
know.
get to 500, you said?
500.
500. So we're a little short. We need another 70,000 to 80,000 of savings right now.
Yeah, today.
So yeah, today, because he's only been doing it for a week, so he could do that in a day. So we need another $80,000 in savings so that we get to the half of the year, he's on track.
The problem that Ross didn't consider when he was coming up with this idea was every time he writes a new policy for someone who was a renter before, they're not saving anything. They're not paying insurance where they didn't have to pay insurance before. So it moves the needle the wrong direction on his
Fighting
thing.
himself.
Because he's basically, they're not saving anything. They're now paying an extra fee.
So actually, we're at 247.
Oh, right. So
we're
you're
at
on track. You're
247.
actually a little ahead. You're a little tiny bit ahead.
Yeah, you're by the end of this month.
We need $3,000 by the end of the month.
No,
Come on,
I want to break the
$3,000.
goal. It's not like I just want to meet it. I want to break it.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Smash through it.
we need as
Yeah.
much as possible.
What we need is just we need people to fall on ears of people that are like, I want to save money.
I know.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to save money?
I just had a conversation this week with someone who was looking at refinancing. And as we get to the bottom of it, what he's really trying to do is just like his monthly budget is tight. And so refinancing is one potential avenue. But I said, hey, like, when's the last time you looked at your insurance? Oh, I don't know. I said, okay, like right away. You don't, it's not going to cost you a single thing. You need to get your insurance looked at and just see if there's any savings there. And it sounds like amongst all of recent years, like this year is a good one.
Yeah.
To really explore that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
has
Right
been
now, it's
really good.
a really good time.
I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of maybe not a bunch, but more names on the quotes coming over, right? As far as like offering, like the insurance agencies.
Yeah, if it's a good risk, I mean, we could have 30 plus carriers come back.
Wow, 30 carriers now. Remember,
Yeah,
we only
you know,
had,
but
like
yeah.
6 in the whole
No,
state or
citizens.
something.
You
Yeah.
hit citizens.
Yeah, it was Citizen.
Yeah, citizens.
Ross, you remember you used to send over like a multi quote that had, 4 or 5 carriers and like,
Yeah.
are we going to get back to those days?
I mean, just for efficiency, probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, let's go ahead and take a break. On the flip side, we're going to talk about the biggest news that's happened in Florida in real estate, which is homesteaded property tax elimination. They had this special session. Was it this week or last week? I think it was this week. This week. And we have some results, and we're going to talk about what happened. And we're going to find out if Johnny was right or I was right from our prognostications from last week.
Always remember, Florida Talk Real Estate is a .com. Your one-stop real estate shop is floridatalkrealestate.com. We're talking about saving property insurance. Saving is important right now. I don't care where you're saving. Anytime you're like, man, I'm paying less for that. That is feel good. Nothing goes down anymore. But guess what? You can actually save a fair amount. We saved about $1,000 when we looked into our policy recently, within months ago. And you hear the goal. Ross and his team try to save $500,000 for the people that are out there right now looking to save some cash. It's as simple as going to floridatalkrealestate.com. Mike mentioned it's free to find out, but you got to take some time. So what you have to invest a little bit of time. It's this simple. floridatalkrealestate.com, on Facebook, Florida Talk Real Estate, on YouTube. There's all kinds of ways to get in touch with this team. You're just going to have to get Ross your information in an email, and bada bing, bada boom. And then we say that one little extra step. If you can get the doc page to him, front and back, just take a picture of it, text it. It's that simple. That way he's at least comparing. You don't want to save money by getting less coverage. That is not the goal, y'all. Save money by getting the same and or better coverage. That is the goal. Whether you're buying a home, selling a home, stuck with a home, you don't know what to do, anything that touches the world of real estate, believe me, I got a professional, a pro's pro for you. And this is a team. They work cohesively together. That's what you need when you're looking to buy, sell, or you're stuck and you don't know what to do. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. On Facebook, please hit share and like. You can change lives, including your very own, with the people, the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. It's a 4-minute break. Thanks for being with us every Saturday. It's Florida Talk Real Estate right here. It's Real Radio.
What's a Real Radio podcast? It's Real Radio on demand. Find your favorite show at realradio921.com. Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
I'm meteorologist Charlotte Carl with CBS 12 News. Expect these pleasant conditions to continue. We are expecting partly cloudy skies through the rest of your Saturday. Temperatures this afternoon get into the middle 80s. We are going to see temperatures feeling exactly like the middle 80s thanks to the lower humidity. Pattern continues tomorrow with a few more isolated showers in the forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rao from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rao will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rao, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Kamaranets, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. This is Florida Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yeah, go ahead, dial in 877-927-6969. Questions, comments, concerns in the world of real estate. If you want to be involved in the conversation at hand, don't be shy. We are live on this 6th day of June. And we are streaming for you too. Facebook, on YouTube, Florida Talk Real Estate on both. Thanks for being there if you are. Sorry if my camera's been a little out of whack.
It's not the camera.
Sorry, I'm a little out of whack. Jimothy, my brother from another mother. What's up, my dude?
Hello, and good morning.
Good morning. Johnny C, that's me. Mike Rao, he's the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. He's here too.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
That's me. I'm doing slight adjustments on the camera just because we have there's two views, Johnny. And one of them is the smaller view, and I guess it's for some,
For your phone.
For your phone. That's what shows up on the phone.
Okay.
Yep.
I think it shows up both ways. But anyway, so you have to be directly in the center of the field in order
For the smaller view.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then there's a bigger view where it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah, you're in the middle generally.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There's not much room to
exact
play
center.
with on that smaller one.
Understand.
The smaller one's 9x16.
Yeah.
And the bigger one is 16x9.
Yeah. So if you go to the website, YouTube, you'll see every show. There's two versions of the same show. One has the smaller, but so I don't know what shows up on the phone, the telephone.
Yeah,
on
so anyway-
the telephone.
Hey, good morning, Joyce.
That's Jimmy D, by the way. Jimmy
Oh,
Polo,
sorry about
with the
that.
Florida
I'm
Home
sorry.
Post team. I didn't get a chance to have
You didn't
Ross
even get to
No, I didn't.
tell
But you jumped in.
the money
so
maker.
Let's make sure everybody knows.
Money
Yeah,
saver.
exactly. Ross
Money
Burnett,
saver.
Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. What's up, my dude?
I'm doing awesome.
I'm sorry,
It's good to
Johnny.
be here.
You're spot
Thanks
on
for the
camera.
intro.
Spot on camera, too, by the way.
I got a mic in my face, but it works.
A little
So
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to know that it's on your face, though, because I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I speak into it.
Thank you.
I need it for the show.
Speaking of loud and clear, there's Jimmy D, our fearless leader, 14 plus years now. Told you he runs a top producing Keller Williams team. It's a Florida Home Pros team, Keller Williams Innovations. What up, Jimmy D?
it is. I'm doing good. Everything's good. We're going to go right into the Florida property tax legislative special session. I was going to say, so when you're on your phone, it's on the 9x16, right?
That's what it looks like.
See, that's what it looks like.
Nice. Thanks, Timothy.
So we had that special legislative session. I thought it was going to be this raucous 5-day fight between the Senate and the House.
Mm-hmm.
Senate before the session didn't want to do the Florida property tax elimination proposal that Governor DeSantis put on. The House did. And I thought it was going to be a pretty raucous fight. Not so much.
They haven't, even after all this time, the people who don't support it haven't formulated their position clear enough yet, right?
The people that didn't support it now support it. Johnny, you were right.
Mhm.
They're
Without a
either
doubt.
going to play ball or you're not going to get your way. It's up to you.
Yeah.
You want things in this next budget, you're going to play by these rules for this thing. Because again, the Florida voters are going to vote on this, right? And they're going to craft, if it passes, the legislators are going to get their hands all on it and mold it around. It could be vastly different from even what we vote for.
Yeah, that's for
The
sure.
reality of it.
Is that true?
But it is.
Yeah,
It
because
could be
what-
vastly
say-
different from
it
what the
can.
voters
Uh,
decide.
Remember when medical marijuana was
Yeah,
passed?
that's the
it was
best
not-
example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
It's just
changed
very
it.
different than what we voted for. But
Mhm.
it's you kind of settle with that. Well, we still kind of got it, right? But yeah, that's just I don't know. I don't want to say that I was right. It just feels like
No, you were right.
well, all right.
It's
well,
okay. Yeah, you were definitely right. You thought they
the
were going to
governor's just
pass
throwing
it.
his weight around. Like, look,
Yeah.
I want this
Mm.
on the ballot, and if you don't, I have the power to veto single line items in this budget. And if you're going to go against me, I'm wiping everything you want out of this budget.
Yeah, and we're leaving it up to the voters. So why are you going to get in
Yeah,
the way of that? So it's
exactly.
kind of like
Don't
an
get in the
easy
way.
one to do.
Don't
So
get
it's
in the
not
way.
it's not that so much you were right about it. It's Jim, you were wrong. You-
That's good.
That's really the way to look at it. The best way to look at
Perspective.
I want people to go back and look at Mike's face when he was saying that. He had so much joy.
more joy than me being right.
That was great.
It
don't
looked
know.
like
I
Christmas
don't know
Day
why.
for Mike. It looked
think I
like he
need-
was opening up his Christmas kiss when he said
Yeah.
that.
Why does that give me so much joy? I don't know.
Oh, you wrong again? Tell me every detail.
No, you are right a lot of the time. Jeff.
So
This is on the rare mark on the other side of the tally sheet.
56% of the time, I'm 90% right. Right. So they
Nice.
Dr. Rich, the Dr. Rich line. Okay. So this is what happened. They did pass and this is funny. They named it now. Save Our Homes from Excessive Property Taxes this is the act that they want to put into effect. It will be a constitutional addendum. It doesn't make it. I thought it was acronym, but it doesn't. Save Our Homes
EPT.
from excessive
So
property
fact.
taxes.
So spec.
So fept.
So fep.
Yeah, I think you take the F out. So it would
Get
be
the F out.
SOHEPT.
Remember that?
SOHEPT. So it doesn't.
SOHEPT.
Yeah, it doesn't really stand for anything. Somebody got to come up with a better name because the federal government, they're very good on acronyms.
It can be.
Yeah, they're it's like, how do you figure this stuff out? So anyway, Save Our Homes from excessive property taxes. So how is this going to work? If it goes into effect starting January 1st, 2027, if you're homesteaded, your homestead exemption will go from 50,000 to 150,000. And then January 1st, 2028, it will climb again to 250,000 total. They feel something like 62% of the people at that point, I think that was the number, 62% will have virtually no property taxes. Now, we're not talking about all property taxes. There's ad valorem and non-ad valorem. And I forget which is which. I think the ad valorem is the big one, right? Isn't the ad valorem the big
Yes.
bill?
Yeah. The non-ad valorem are things like services that you're paying for. So like trash pickup is a good example where
Yeah.
essentially there's a company that is providing their service through the year. You pay for that through your non-ad valorem portion of your property taxes.
So, but your ad valorem is your big bill for property taxes, and that will be reduced greatly if this goes through. So then that got me.
And then from there, it's supposed to, the legislators are supposed to determine a timeline, an off ramp to where this is supposed to like go down to zero, right?
Mhm.
Right.
And that's the part that you're prefacing this whole conversation where it can adjust in the
course.
future after we vote on.
But that was the plan for
That's
this
the part.
anyway. Like
Right.
then you guys have to determine how long and what the exact what this off ramp looks like. Here's it goes from 50 to 150 to 250 and then slowly progresses away. But
Mhm.
you have to figure that out.
Yeah, that's the future. Like that's our plan.
And if you buy from out of state,
Well-
when you homestead, I think you have to go 5 years
Well,
before.
Before we get into, well, we'll do that first. Yeah. So you're right, Johnny. So, if you live out of state and you come down here if this went into effect on January 1st, 2027, if you move down here and you buy a property and it's your intent to homestead that property and to be your primary residence, you're still only going to get the $50,000 exemption
for
for
5
years.
5 years.
And then you can get the full exemption.
Well, then it goes to 125, right? Then it goes to 250.
I didn't see that part. Did you see that?
That's the way I
Okay.
read it.
So it wasn't going to go directly to
You after
150.
5 years, then you kick into where we kick in next year. When I say we, I mean homesteaded property owners. If this passes in November, where we kick in. That's the way I read it.
Yeah, and there's some legal experts that are saying that could kill the whole thing constitutionally or legally because you're treating residents two different ways, right? You're treating people from out of state different than people that live in state, and that might not be constitutionally sound. Federal constitution, not state constitution. So there might be appeals on that if that happens. So that might be a almost like a silent bomb in the approval.
That's an easy fix, though, right?
But it's like, what type of Florida resident are you? Right? Are you old school or are you new Florida resident?
But this
so I could
was-
see that being
This is the
challengeable.
stunning thing. Did you guys hear what they were going to remember what we talked about last week, which was a lot of people were worried that the two big concerns about this were, well, I shouldn't say too big because there are many concerns about this. But if you push away the schools and the police and the fire, and you talk about the other things people were concerned about, one of the things they were worried about were the rural areas. Remember, we mentioned last week there were 13 counties that they felt would go bankrupt if they passed this regulation or passed this constitutional amendment, because they wouldn't have enough money to survive, because there are a lot of agricultural exempt, or a lot of properties in these rural counties are agriculturally exempt.
But there's going to be the state slush fund to,
And there would be
that.
a state slush fund to try to
Right.
buttress these
And
people.
there's no details on how that gets funded. by
No,
the
they
way.
don't.
No.
That's very,
Uh-uh.
very black hole-ish right
Right.
now, right? Nobody knows what's going on. And then the other thing people were worried about, where are we going to get the extra money that we need that we're taking away from the property taxes? And a lot of it they thought was going to be on the shoulders of commercial and non-homesteaded properties. But they did something with that too. Did you hear about that
Well,
part?
I know they were building in for commercial. That was part of it. They were building in protection for that. I did not read anything about non-homesteaded.
So right now, if your property's non-homesteaded or if it's commercial, they also have a cap. So with our homestead, property taxes for a homesteaded property can't go up more than 3% a year, no matter how much value increase happens in the area. Why are you shaking?
There's some
your head about that?
nuance there. It's your assessed value can't go up more
Well,
than 3%.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but in today's thing, besides the 3% cap for homesteaded properties, there's a 10% cap for all other types of properties.
I will tell you though that in this legislation, they're going to change that 3% cap for homesteaded yearly increase for assessed value to 5%.
No, that isn't what I read. What I read is it's going to be 5% for commercial and non-homestead, but not
Okay.
the homesteaded. There will be a cap. I don't know about maybe you're right about that, but I didn't see that. So I'll have to check into it too. So now they're going to have a cap of 5% for all those properties. So now we're taking away money that was coming in from the homesteaded properties, and now we're taking away money that was coming in from the commercial and non-homesteaded properties. Non-homesteaded would be second homes, rental properties, things
Investment
like that,
properties.
investment
Mhm,
properties. So they're reducing the tax rate for those properties too. So now we
Well,
have
they're
more money. We have a bigger donut hole.
They're
Sure.
they're shrinking the gap of how they can
They're-
increase
They're
year to year.
reducing the
Right.
cap.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, if your property value didn't go over that 5%
Right.
anyway,
What they're
you're not
doing is
losing.
they're decreasing the ballooning of increase of revenue in years future. They're not. It's not really taking in less for those properties now. It's just increasing how much more it'll decreasing how much more it'll balloon in the future.
So I wonder where they're going to,
But you have to budget knowing that it's only going to go up.
Yeah,
I mean,
and DeSantis, what his argument is that since COVID, we've had such dramatic increase in property values that it automatically ballooned all the government budgets everywhere. Even if they didn't raise their millage rate, right, their tax rate, they were still bringing in
more
tons
dramatically
more and
in
more
certain
money.
counties, much more dramatically in certain
Yeah,
counties.
it,
And if you look at how the money that they've taken in over the years has gone up, you just go, wow. Like, I mean, that's staggering. I'm
So
like,
every
county-
where does that money go? Because I don't
Exactly.
They're
see it.
saving it, Johnny. They got a war
They're
chest
sitting
built
on
up.
it, yeah.
Right?
They're buying bonds. and
well, I
things.
don't
That's
think
what
it's I don't think it's a coincidence that Florida's got 18 billion in reserves
As a
right
state.
now. Yeah, as a
Somebody at the state level is doing what they should have been
Mhm.
doing, which was to save up the war chest or the nest egg,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So
Did the counties do that? Did the municipalities do that? Or
They-
did they spend it?
I most of them are spending it, right? And that's what's always bummed me out. What I said is when we have these huge value increases in property values for assessed values, and then they're collecting all this extra money, it isn't because they have a lot more services to serve. They're just getting extra money. And there's like and there's I've always complained about that. That was my complaint, is that it makes it too easy for these city governments to go, oh, extra money, let's go spend it. Right. So
Well, let's finally do that thing that we've had to put off because we didn't have the money for it. Like, that's the opposite of that, Jim. It's like we need that money because we got these things that we want to do. We haven't been able to. But I'll push back on that point just a little bit, Jim, just because the existing caps, they're already there, right? So the 10% thing is, so even if your real estate market value is going up because of things you're talking about, market pressures, whatever, you still have had a cap, even on a non-homesteaded property or apparently a commercial property. It's still been capped at 10%. So as long as there has been continuous ownership, there have been limits on how much your taxes are going up, and it's not been going up with the market value. It's been going up, but it's capped.
Right.
It's been capped at 10%.
Continuous ownership, though. If it's changing hands, then it's reassessed.
That's when the state.
That's why I still think
they
that,
love it. That's when you get the big one.
And that aspect even affects homesteaded homes.
Yeah.
Because when a homesteaded home gets sold,
it
and
resets.
Now, of course, there's portability, and there's a question in our comments about portability on this as well. But, portability can reduce that a little bit. But if it's an out-of-state or somebody else coming in from out-of-state, then it's reset even on a homesteaded property.
I mean, even
that's extra money going to the municipality.
Yeah, that's when they love it. Like when a property is sold, everything goes to market value, and the caps, everything resets. And yes, if you have portability, it's a great way to come down from that. Kind of like the highest it could be is home is sold, market value is the baseline. Like that becomes the new number. And so when you have portability, but you're still coming off of that new number, right? That they've assessed.
Yes,
right.
you are.
You're not bringing it with you like you did, like your idea. Like
Right. I still think that idea is one of the better ideas. I know everybody kind of pushed it down, but you thought it was okay. I thought you guys weren't that impressed by it, but I still think that would be a better idea.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be more controllable about the future for known unknowns. Going back to what was that guy's name? Rumsfeld, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Known unknowns and all
Donald
that.
Rumsfeld.
Now here's the thing. I'm going to be buying a property this year, right? Sometime this year. And I was like, what happens to people that are going to be buying now that don't own a property, live in Florida, right? But don't own a property right now. What's going to happen to them? Like, are they going to be able to get involved in this or not? Or are they going to be considered like the out-of-state people that are coming in and have to wait 5 years? So I was like, when I buy this house, am I going to have to wait 5 years to get this benefit if it passes that everybody else is going to get? So I did a little research on it. Some of it was AI, so I'm just being real. I know Johnny hates AI, so I'm disclosing.
Yeah, no, it's cool. We want
Johnny
data
loves-
centers everywhere. Keep using the AI.
Yeah.
That's great.
Johnny,
You too?
Yeah, I want them in my backyard. So
oh yeah,
please,
you're gonna put them.
keep getting on the keep getting on the
Exactly.
AI.
Hey, you got
I
that
want
big
'em-
field in your
I
backyard.
want them everywhere.
Yeah, you should have them
We have
everywhere.
enough water.
We get
One-
plenty of Publixes. They should just turn some of those
Keep
into
using the AI, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And
so
you leave Publix alone.
so I was trying to figure out what would happen if somebody bought in July of this year, right? And they bought the property and they intended to homestead it. What would happen then? So apparently the way this would work out is as long as that you buy the home and you make it, quote, your permanent residence by December 31st, 2026, you would qualify for this proposed amendment if it passes.
So you got to be homesteaded by the end of the year.
You got to be homesteaded by
If
the
it
end of the
passes
year.
in November.
But there's a lot of tricks to that. So I wanted to talk about that. Go ahead, Mike.
So in general, you can't apply for and get approved for the homestead exemption unless you own the home on January 1st of that tax year. So this next kind of deadline, regardless of what's happening with this law, you wouldn't be able to homestead the property until January, after January 1st of 2027. So you basically have to own the home. And then on January 1st, it has to be your primary residence. You own it, your primary residence. And then you qualify just in general, nothing to do with this, but then you qualify for the homestead exemption for 2027.
Well, you also have to show that you have an intent. There has to be shown an intent that you're going to live there. Now, here's the thing. I said, okay, so what happens if you closed on December 31st? What happens then? Right?
Should be good.
Not necessarily. You can get in a little trouble there. So the best way to do this is make sure if you're buying from now until the end of the year that you change your driver's license to the address that you move to as quickly as possible. So if you're like in December and you're closing, right? It's really like if you're December 15th, if you're closing on December 15th, make sure you haul to the DMV and get your license changed. That will help you show that you have intent for residency.
How do you do that though? Because don't you have to show them like
You
you
got
have to
to
have utility bills and
right.
stuff,
That,
and you're
that's
not in there
exactly.
yet. So how
Well,
do you
you
do
can
that?
show them the closing statement, right? You can show the closing statement.
No, but you
that-
need two of this list, right? So it's like your warranty deed, which establishes when you took ownership.
Mhm.
And then you need some other thing like a utility bill or
And so if you do it on December 31st, you're going to have a very difficult time to do that because there isn't enough time.
I would say,
I mean,
But
when
there
you're
is
buying
another
a,
way, there is another way to get out of it, though. That's what I just want to say. You can file something with the clerk of the court saying that is your intent to make this that this is your permanent residency. It's your intent, and you can file that with the clerk of the court, and that could help you qualify for all this.
Of course, we're assuming that this passes in November. What are you going to say, Ross?
now, if it doesn't go through, or like, let's say that you can't get this homestead thing or whatever, does it just push you back 1 year? You know what I mean?
No, you
It
have to
gets
wait the
5
5
years.
years. You got to wait the 5 years.
Hmm.
So
that doesn't sound right to me.
It doesn't.
that's what it's
Who
it's
said
saying.
that, Claude or Gemini?
I know, right? Right. I did do it with a bunch of. I
I'll say-
did it. I
let me-
did do it with a bunch of them because I don't trust any of them, right? So I do it with a bunch and then try to figure out what I'm finding out, and then I start asking, "How do you know that?" Like, give me your sources, things like that. So I'm not just like
Jim is an investigative journalist.
Mhm.
So if anybody's going to
Knows the right
look at
way.
the sources,
Right.
but I will say this thing about whether or not you're eligible for the exemption has nothing to do with the new tax law, right? We're just talking about are you eligible to make for the homestead exemption? And the thing about buying on December 31st or January 1st, and when you get your license, nothing is changing about that. So the same rules apply. Now, if you don't homestead the property your first year, for whatever reason, is there a larger implication related to this 5-year wait period? I don't think it would, because the 5-year wait period is for people who have moved to Florida from out of state. Like, you're already a Florida resident. Why would you be subject to a 5-year wait? You're not, because the 5-year thing is like, hey, this is going to make Florida attractive, right? It's going to maybe help with home affordability, like question. But at the very least, it makes Florida attractive for people to move from out of state, like especially states that have big property taxes and they're coming in. Same thing with like our income.
Kind of the
tax.
opposite of affordability. It doesn't feel like it's making
Like, whether it's going to be
affordable.
affordable or not. But in order to curb the amount of people coming in and saying, "Hey, listen, we're going to Florida because we want this property tax," they're saying, "Hey, we don't want a lot of that activity, so we're going to put this 5-year thing. We don't want to make that the reason you're coming to Florida, right? If the only reason you're coming to Florida is to save on property taxes, you're going to have to wait 5 years to do that, right?" So I get they're trying to put some sort of disincentive for making that your primary motivation.
Well, you don't have
Why
to
would that apply for a Florida resident?
You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait 5 years to protect yourself, though. You can homestead if it's your homesteaded property. You're just gonna have to wait 5 years to get the full max
To
benefit.
get the escalating
Right,
exemption.
which is, I don't know, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like a deterrent. Just doesn't. But that's my
No, but
ridiculous perspective.
I could see the point of like, I don't want that to be the reason you're coming down here.
Right.
I want you coming to Florida for other reasons. And just, you're going to get the benefit of this because we're a great state, maybe as it relates to property taxes, but you don't get it right away. So don't make that your reason. So I could see like that logic.
And this may not even be an issue we have to contend with because, again, you talked about legality of it. That may
Sure.
be a portion of it that gets shot down.
yes, and things can
Constitutionally.
change after
Yeah.
after they
Right.
pass it. Then
Yeah.
then they get to make the sausage again, if you will.
But
You
I
know
would
what
I would
mean?
be surprised if you, as an existing Florida resident, even if you missed the deadline for your first year, I would be surprised if you're on that 5-year thing because you're not an out-of-state person.
It doesn't feel like it fits the parameters of
Yeah.
what they're trying to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Right.
You're supposed to make affordable for
Floridians.
Floridians.
Right.
So I don't, we don't know how this is all going to go. We'll find out in November. What do you guys think? Do you think that the residents are going to vote for this or not vote for this?
Geez.
I mean, there's no wrong answer because we're all just guessing.
I think
So I'm
it's
just
very
wondering-
easy to, especially as a homeowner, to be like, yes, why not? Absolutely. I want to save thousands of dollars a year on my property taxes. I also don't want to lose my home at a property tax auction because I can't pay my excessive property taxes, right? So if they're a more manageable number, you can avoid a lot of that. So it's very easy to get behind that. And the other side of it, I think, still has to be really fleshed out and developed because there are downsides as it relates to the budget in your community. If you're not a Florida homeowner, if you're, commercial property or just a renter for whatever reason, you got to be thinking this large chunk of change that's coming in that funds these things, like they're going to be losing that amount of money. Where are they going to make up for it?
People often vote. People that don't have means often vote like they do.
Sure.
Against their own agenda, what they should be voting for. They often vote against what's best for them. They often vote like, well, if I had money, I would. That's the way that a lot of the thinking goes. For me, I think right now, if we voted, I don't think it passes. It all matters on who gets behind, what money gets behind each side, because the ads that are going to run for it's all going to be, look at the waste, the spending. Do you want the big cats? It's like, I can see it already. The waste, you're never going to own your home, the fear and the waste. And then there's going to be the other side where it's like, well, here's the things you can miss out on. Whoever spends the most to drive those commercials. And I'm not sure where the best platform is for that right now, though, because television is not consumed like it once was. That's going to be tough what platform gets the most of that, I think, is where it's going to go.
Whatever message you can get out in 10-second or 20-second increments is going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So DeSantis is like, you're renting your home from the state forever.
Well, they did it with
that's a
recreational.
really powerful
They did
message.
it with recreational. They really put the fear of
They did.
True Leave, and like there was certain things that were like, oh, you can't vote, and all the way down to I heard people saying, well, I'm not voting for it because it doesn't include home grow. It's like, well, it can't include home grow. It can't be it's got to be single line amendments here. Like, let's just get this little bit of freedom while we can, and then we'll work on home grow. Too many people vote against things because they just don't think through it. And I think they're easily led. So what the dollars want on this, I think, is what's going to get voted for.
Yeah, I can see it playing out that way for sure. I think
I think right now, though, I think it doesn't pass.
These communities that are really going to lose a large chunk of their budget, just think about that. Like these, if you go to the
where the voters
rural
are, where the most
communities,
people are, by the way,
and they're full of homeowners. The whole region, the whole county, whatever it is, it's full of homeowners. They don't have a lot of investment properties. They don't have a lot of commercial activity. They don't have a lot of renters, right? They just like counties that are with a bunch of homes that are homesteaded. And all of a sudden, all of their tax revenue is gone, right? Or a big, huge chunk of it. More than, say, Palm Beach, Broward today, because we have a big mix of renters and homeowners and homesteaded and non-homesteaded, all of that.
But let me make a big push to make renters think that rent's going to go down because your homeowner is going to save on property taxes, even though they're not homesteaded. Like, now the renter's mindset is, oh, I am going to probably save on this. And the reality is no, you're not. They're going to lower your rent. It's not going to happen. But if they drive that in their head, you're going to pay less. Well, now those renters are voting for that.
I could see a scenario where like the market pressures drive rent down because there's more competition for rent. Like, so if my rent could be lower because my costs are lower, I can get my unit occupied, right? Like, I can rent it out. So I could see like the market pressure for rent, like rents will come down. But as a general, like individual, like Jim, let's say you rent a house from me or from Ross, because actually Ross you're a landlord, right? Ross, at some level.
Yeah.
Right. So are you going to lower your rents just because your property taxes have gone down? Just like an individual to the person who's there? Maybe you won't raise it this next year. Right.
I mean, with my tenant, I'm good with what we got.
So you're going to leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
And you're finally going to make some of that money that you weren't able to make because your taxes were so high. Right? Like that, to Johnny's point, that's the way it's going to go, right? They're not going to be lowering rents. It's not going to be more affordable for renters, but I could make a case that market conditions would allow.
I mean, like if
his taxes will increase. at the rate that they potentially could.
Right. Like my taxes aren't going to go down
No, they're not going to go down
because I'm not going to get any extra exemption.
but that'll be the ads. Like they'll make renters think like I'm going to save money,
Mhm.
and it's not going to happen. It's not the way that's going to work.
Well, I'm also wondering if homes are going to get for buyers that are buying properties after this constitutional amendment passes, if it does, if they're going to be priced out of the market because the prices go up.
Well, they'll be able to afford more.
Right. They're going to be able to afford more, so they're going to pay more because more people can.
The exact
afford
opposite
more.
of what we're hoping.
Mhm.
Is
That's
well, at
what
least
I'm-
the title of that. I think the real point is to try to eliminate, the idea of somebody who's 80 years old and can lose their home because they can't afford to pay their property taxes. Like that's the core of it. But
I guess when they talk about affordability, it is not a solution to the housing prices.
Not at all.
The home values. It's not a solution to that. If anything, it would drive it up. Right. But if you take affordability in the context of making my life more affordable
for a homeowner,
as an existing homeowner,
right,
it's going to do that.
It will,
Yeah.
because you're going to take, on the property taxes. Now,
Yeah, but then
the
you're
whole
just
question
gonna-
of where am I giving it back? You have to assume that they're not going to be able to cut their budgets enough. They're going to need to increase revenue somehow. Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption.
Governor flat out said there are going to be no tax increases to supplement this.
Did he say "read my lips"? Also,
I didn't think he said that. Though.
Yeah, and the other thing is that about local rule versus state rule.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is all those counties that you guys were talking about that
You're saying rule like who's in charge?
who's in charge,
Yeah.
right? So if you're broke and you're relying on Tallahassee to supplement you because of this rule change, Tallahassee's going to own you.
Yep.
So
You got to
they're
get a
gonna
nice
be
pair
the
of knee
ones.
pads.
We're
Yeah,
definitely giving more
exactly.
power to the state. Than the
Yeah, and I don't like.
versus local.
I don't know how this has happened, but we're getting more and more federalized, if you will, or going state and federal, just taking more and more control over everything. And
massively.
I just don't get that part. I don't understand why people trust government enough to do that. I like local rule.
It's all apathy.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody trusts anything.
Yeah.
It's all apathy, Jim. It's just let me just scroll.
Nobody
better-
believes
better
in
scrolling
local
over
rule
here.
anymore.
Well, if you're in one of those rural communities and you want to prevent yourself from having to rely on Tallahassee, you just need like 3 or 4 data centers because then they'll
Yeah.
kick in for that extra taxes.
Yep, put them in Johnny's backyard.
Now,
That's what I want.
14
Nice, just vacant land
don't
with
need
really
any of that,
beautiful trees on it that you can
Let's
put
go.
some
Well,
data centers
remember,
in.
remember when they were going to put those golf courses in the parks? You
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah.
a couple years ago? Why not data centers?
It's coming.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Right?
it's just that land's just sitting there.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
you
the
got all
Jonathan-
that
the
water.
Jonathan Dickinson.
Yeah.
You
Data
got all
Center.
that water. You can filter through the data centers.
Hey,
What
Jim,
were you saying, Mike? Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was just saying, 14 years. We don't get political on this show, but we've got two, like the AI data center topic and this property tax one. We have an opportunity here to get really political here over the next, the remainder of this year. We need to think about that.
No, I would prefer to pass on being that political. I mean, we are talking a little bit about politics, but I'm not taking sides. I'm just raising
Yeah.
questions, and people can decide.
We
on their
happen
own.
to be, all of us here, Floridians, and most of us homeowners.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like this is all relevant to us, and it's relevant to the real estate market. I don't know how it's going to play out as far as like how we qualify you related to property taxes. Like what, there will be a new dynamics, some sort of shift there as far as, are we using the existing taxes or are we using predicted taxes as far as underwriting, right? And determining what payment you qualify for.
Well,
So
you already use existing, right?
we use existing under most circumstances. And so there's some circumstances where we calculate a new number, but we use existing. And you could take advantage of that right now,
Sure.
right? Like we've seen that. Jim, you buy a home that has half the property taxes as the neighbor because it's been homestead a while.
Well,
We
that's
use that. You could
the
take
unit-
advantage of that.
The unit that I'm looking at right now, the tax bill right now is $3,800 a year, roughly.
Yeah.
When I did the property tax calculator, I'm expecting it to be about $7,700 a year, right? Which is and for the unit that I'm buying, that to me is pretty stunning because I lived in a McMansion that had the same tax bill, basically.
Yeah.
Right. So I had a 6-bedroom, 4-bath home that was 5,000 square feet with the same tax bill as this 1,300 square foot townhome.
That's crazy.
Right? Isn't that crazy
is
when you
crazy.
think about it?
Yes.
Everybody just
So-
wants to go back to 2019.
I still think
taking
the
it back.
idea. I
Fair-
still think
fair
the
not
idea
giving
of just
drop.
taking over the tax bill of the previous owner, if you're homesteading it and you claim domicile certification of domicile, which is what you would file with the county court if you were late towards the end of the year.
Domicile.
Yeah, you sign a certification
Certification of domicile.
certification of domicile.
Certification.
Cer-
Certification.
yeah,
Certification of domicile.
You're certifying.
What did you just say?
You said certification.
Yeah, what is it?
And I'm saying certification.
Certification.
I think both are okay.
Certification. Yeah, I don't know what else going on.
Certificates.
Potato, potato.
Jim, back to the one question that was in our comment section. Has there been any mention of portability? and
I
how
haven't
that's
seen
affected?
anything. Have you guys? I haven't seen anything on that.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah.
I don't know why that would change. Like, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Why would you do anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, if you have so remember what's portable, what gets moved, the portability is the difference between the market value and the assessed value. The market value is the number that just goes up and down with the market. Doesn't mean it doesn't like reflect the current, like if I was to sell my home, but it's whatever the property appraisers tools and formulas to like go up and down with the market. What are you laughing at, Jim?
Peggy, who I think you know, she's a big fan of Real Radio for years and years. She just texted me and says, "No data centers in Johnny's backyard because I live there too."
Screw
And I
that.
thought it was funny. Thank you, Peggy. Happy Saturday.
So that market value goes up and down. The assessed value is what is capped 3% or 10%, or with maybe they're proposing cap it at 3% for homesteaded and 5% for non-homesteaded properties. And that just means like, so when you buy the home, the market value is going up through the years, hopefully, and the assessed value is only going up incrementally, regardless of how much your market value is increasing. And then your homestead exemption is deducted from the assessed value, and that's how you arrive at a taxable value. And taxes are assessed as a percentage of the taxable value. So this additional exemption going from 50,000 to what is it, 150, 250,000. That's the cap that they're anticipating
right now.
So that's the deduction from assessed value to taxable value. So that's how you get your taxable value down to zero, right? But you still have that gap between market value and assessed value. And so that will be transferable. That's currently transferable to the new home. So I'm with you, Johnny. I think that will remain in place, right? Like buy my home 10 years later, I've got a $200,000 difference between my market value and my assessed value because I built that up because of the cap.
I've earned that.
Yeah, so that should come back. I'm actually looking at one of the homes of somebody in this room. And the current market value on that home is a little bit over 400,000. And the current assessed value on that home is 225,000. And so then there's the standard exemption. The taxable value is 175,000, right? So you have a market value at 400, an assessed value at 225, and that's what's portable. That's the gap. That 225 has only increased 3% year over year since they bought the home. And then the $50,000 exemption gets them down to paying taxes on 175. So that person, the first year is going to go, they'll have at 150, right? They'll have a taxable value of $50,000 the first year. And then the second year, zero taxable value.
Peace out.
Yeah. On the things that like the school tax is going to stay, the police and fire is going to stay, but so your bill's not going down to zero, but a $3,500 bill could easily go down to, $1,500, maybe $1,000, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be pretty dramatic for the homeowners. I mean, the savings that would happen would be pretty amazing.
Well, in
how
that
much
case,
of that you're going to be paying in sales tax and other fees and other taxes and stuff.
So let's say that as that homeowner, like this thing will save you $2,000 a year. And I think that it needs to be framed in that way. People need to think about it that way. And then you say, what am I giving up for that savings? and somebody should really like lay out what it could look like in your community, right? Or in your county or whatever. Like, here is, if the budget is cut by this amount of money, here's what's going to go. Here's the things that are like probably likely to go.
And I think you'll see ads running that kind of line item things for
Yeah.
people that are like, we
This
can't
is gonna
afford
go.
it. Yeah. You want to lose all this? Vote yes.
Yeah,
on
you're going to
Yeah.
save $2,000, but you're going to lose, this. We're cutting the landscaping in your community. We're cutting that budget in half. So the grass is going to get a little longer before it's cut. We're not going to water as much. We're not trimming the trees. I'm just thinking like low hanging fruit, right? Like, okay,
I'm
let's cut
thinking
that
it's going
budget.
to be, that isn't what they're going to do first, Mike. Just from being a government reporter, what they're probably going to start doing is first they're going to start doing saying
No
the-
hiring. No.
no hiring. The parks aren't going to be open as late.
Mhm.
The parks and things like that, festivals and all that stuff. That'll probably start going out the window, right?
Yeah, and it could also be like, hey, we had this like capital expenditure schedule. We're pushing everything back. So this 5-year plan to like fix these roads and these bridges
That's
and this
true.
and this,
Yes.
we're extending it out to a 10-year plan to do that. So you have slower kind of maintenance and upkeep, right? Or it could be that there's just a bunch of the old, waste, fraud, abuse, right, at the local level could be in there. Just going to cut that out, Johnny. Like, just get rid of the bad stuff only. We're
I'm with
keeping all the good
Yeah,
stuff.
but
like it.
your bad
I'll vote
stuff
for that.
is not necessarily Johnny's bad stuff,
Yeah.
which is not necessarily Ross's bad stuff, and that's where it gets really,
Obviously.
granular, and you have to figure out what's going on. And nobody's really going to know when they're voting this, because every city's going to handle and every county's going to handle this differently if it gets passed.
Now, those are the things that somebody should be looking at all the time anyway, right? Like, somebody should be, and you have to assume that they are. Like, they do these budget analysis and they evaluate what's important and what's not, and how to, like, they do this every single year, right? And certain
Nah.
members of the community watch over it.
They do a budget analysis, but what happens is they don't decide what
It's
they
cut.
give advice to what should be done, but then it's up to the commission.
The commission setting millage rate.
Yeah, but it isn't the worker bees, the ones that are actually running the government. They basically do what the commission tells them to do.
Yeah.
They do give advice. They're consultants to the commissioner saying, hey, you might want to cut this, or we got a problem with that.
Yeah.
But it's really up to the commission. And then the commission, they have to deal with the residents. And so a lot of times the residents are going to be beating their chests and going crazy.
And a lot of times it doesn't matter.
No, and a lot, yeah. So it's going to be really interesting. Jimmy, you had something. I'm sorry, a little bit ago.
The portability was
The portability.
the question I had on
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
And,
Yeah.
and I think that answer that Mike gave on that was
a good
very
one.
sensible.
Yeah.
I mean, really, or Johnny, you could say,
Mhm.
just let it be the same. Probably the only difference is there won't be as much portability, right? It won't. You
No,
won't
there will be.
dollar wise, but you've already saved, right? So that's.
I mean,
In-
it should
in the
be the
end, it'll
same
be
amount
the
of
same.
portability, I would imagine, because we're talking about the difference between the market and the assessed value. So that
Mhm.
should,
But
you know.
it's the difference in those numbers between your old home and your new home too. Like that number matters.
Imagine if they start like tolls on Military Trail and Congress and stuff, just to,
So take
just to make money.
this example I'm looking at, right, where we had 400,000 market value and 225 assessed value. So that's $175,000. That is what is portable to the new home. So say Johnny goes and buys his new mansion. Now he's in the $1 million home, right?
Mhm.
And the assessed value, instead of being, so market value is $1 million. Assessed value, if you didn't have portability, would be $1 million that first year.
Mhm.
Instead of that, he's got a $175,000 reduction. So right off the bat, his market value is $1 million, and his assessed value is $825,000.
775.
What did I say? 225?
175.
It's
I thought you
he,
said
he has
175.
175,000 of portability.
Oh,
So-
825.
yeah,
You're
so
right. I'm sorry. I got that wrong.
825,
I'm sorry.
right? That's how that works. And I think that's I think that'll stay the same.
It'll be really interesting to see what happens in November. It's going to be really interesting to talk about the advertising and everything building up to this. We'll probably keep an eye on that and talk
Well,
about that as it goes through.
They need 60%, correct?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
47% of homeowners in Florida are homesteaded.
Right.
And that's who it's going to affect. So every one of those would have to vote yes for it, plus people
And
that
you-
won't get a benefit for it.
right away. But
technically.
there's a lot of people out there that have built up the, this is something else we got to consider. How long we've been talking about there's a lot of buyer built up demand because of affordability issues. This might be the linchpins. Like, heck yeah, I'm buying. I'm voting for that because I want to buy a home, and these taxes are going to kill me. So maybe that whole market is going to vote yes too, even though they don't
Right.
own a
That-
home
that
yet.
could be
that
part
could
of
happen.
what
And
they
you know what,
need,
Jim?
yeah.
There may, like what you were talking about earlier with the deadline, as far as like this year, if you own it by December 31st, you can. Is there going to be some drive for people who are buyers, and like, hey, do I want to buy at the end of this year, or do I want to buy next year sometime? Right? And there would some advantage to, hey, if you're a buyer, you could take advantage of this portability. I mean, this property tax change. Get while the getting's good. Like, get in this year. So don't wait. Don't put it off till, I'm either buying in September, October, or I'm going to buy in March. Okay, well, maybe October makes sense because of this.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And there's another reason why buyers might want to start thinking about doing something now than later. And we're going to get that. We're going to talk about that next. The next part we're going to talk about, we have some economic good news because I'm tired of all the.
Let me just do a quick little
sure,
reset
sure.
then. We're gonna shift a little subject. You're welcome to join us. We got plenty of time remaining on this Saturday. 877-927-6969. Of course, we take you till 11. We're live on this June 6th. Happy birthday, babe, if you're listening. Of course, Florida Talk Real Estate is .com. Always remember the one-stop real estate shop that is FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Know it, use it, love it, share it. We're on Facebook, on YouTube, streaming right now. You can join us. Of course, you can always go back and visit. Hit share and like on those posts. Like I say, you can change lives, including your very own, with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Appreciate you. Are we going to break?
Yeah, we're going to break. I'm sorry.
I thought we were sliding right in.
No, we were doing the
Oh,
break.
that's why I
No,
was-
let's go. I'm so sorry, Johnny. Let's go ahead and do the break. And on the flip side, we're going to talk about some economic good news, but maybe rocky waters ahead. We're going to talk about that. Sorry
4-minute
about that.
reset. We're back before you know it. Thanks for being with us every Saturday. Florida Talk Real Estate right here on Real Radio.
Got something to say? I got something to say. Text us at 47142. Start your message with Real Radio. Standard data and message rates apply, and don't text while driving. Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
I'm meteorologist Charlotte Carl with CBS 12 News. Expect these pleasant conditions to continue. We are expecting partly cloudy skies through the rest of your Saturday. Temperatures this afternoon get into the middle 80s. We are going to see temperatures feeling exactly like the middle 80s thanks to the lower humidity. Pattern continues tomorrow with a few more isolated showers in forecast.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals. At $4, $6, and $8, pick one of the new Biggie Deals you're craving. For a pretty biggie deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rao from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rao will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rao, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Camaronets, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Still got plenty of time for that phone call, 877-927-6969. Of course, we take you till 11. Locker room will take over from there. Greg will join me for some sports. Thanks for being with us. Florida Talk Real Estate on a Saturday. 2 hours of infotainment. Always remember, Florida Talk Real Estate is a .com. You get access to the entire team. One click away, floridatalkrealestate.com. Jimothy's our producer extraordinaire. What's up, my dude?
Hello, hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Johnny C., that's me, your old buddy, your old pal. There's Mike Rao. He's the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm.
Yes.
Hello. He's in the studio. He's right there.
This is real. This is not AI. This is real. Live.
This is real as it gets.
Live and direct.
Yeah, if you don't believe me, check out the live
Look
stream.
at that. My
Facebook.
phone's even ringing.
Is it?
Yep.
Is it important?
It is important.
You want to take it?
I want it. No.
On air.
I mean, I want to.
Hello.
It has to do with that screen right there.
Oh.
Yeah, getting that fixed.
You need to get
It's
that
like my
fixed.
phone got shot.
It did. It took a bullet for you.
But yeah, okay.
Getting that fixed.
Yeah, happening today.
Good, nice.
Finally, the benefits of having that phone insurance.
Oh, that never happens.
And it's free, and they show up. Come to you.
I noticed you don't have an iPhone. Ross Camaronets is with us. Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. You have an iPhone?
I do.
I've been addicted to the videos lately. The people when they open the new iPhones, for some reason, the design of that box is so terrible. It's so hard to take that lid off. And right when they get the lid off, the phone's like literally sitting flat on the top of that box. It just falls right down. As soon as they open it, it falls right on the floor and crack-ola.
That
Somebody
makes you
got
feel
too
good.
crafty.
It does. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome.
That's great.
Grand opening.
That's why they sell it with the pillow, right? For under you open it on top of the pillow.
What a terrible design. Why not put that, like, sink that phone down in there a little bit? It's literally flush on the box.
I haven't seen it.
Yours is alive. Nice to see it alive.
That's so funny.
Jimmy D, do you have an iPhone?
Yeah,
I
he
do.
does.
Yeah.
We got.
got like
I got
8 of them.
using one
Yes,
right now.
Yes,
Johnny.
there's about 12 of them in here, actually. Florida Home Pros, Keller Williams Innovations. What's up, Jimmy
Yeah,
D?
my AT&T bill is outrageous.
I bet.
With all these phones, it's crazy. Let's see,
Jeepers.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 right now.
You see all those ads or commercials for
Might as
like
well.
the apps that are like, hey, we're going to look at all your subscriptions that you're paying for that you don't know.
I
Like
tried to
Jim's
do
their
that.
target audience.
Oh yeah, I've tried it and it's only worked partly. It's like, we don't think we want to work with you.
That's a lot of work, actually.
Yeah, I think you got to go to another company.
Jim's still paying UUNet subscription. Remember that? Old school.
Gosh, that is old school.
Old
Yeah,
school.
it's super old school. So I wanted, I was driving around. I think I put like 250 miles on my car yesterday. I was driving everywhere yesterday. What I noticed is I was in Broward County, Palm Beach County, St. Lucie County, and all different cities, all different parts of that, all those three counties.
So which one's best?
Well,
Go
what I
for
was
it.
actually, I had to drive through Martin County in order to get
sure
to the
did.
St. Lucie County.
Sure did.
So I guess I was in 4 counties. But what was surprising is the difference in the gas prices in all the different areas.
We are really going political this whole show.
Gas prices about affordability. That's not political. That's just like what people are paying.
Is it worth
right now.
driving to Martin County to fill up?
Well, what I found out was in Broward County, I saw for regular gas, one station had it at $5.49 for regular.
Ow.
Right. And then I saw it when I was driving over here today, the lowest
And that
I
place
saw.
is empty, right? Nobody's buying gas there.
I didn't notice, to be honest with you. I just noticed the signs, and I saw a range of a high of 5.49 yesterday. And this morning when I went out, one of the gas stations I drive by all the time when I'm leaving the house, it was 3.69.
Yeah, I've
so
seen like the 380.
I got a racetrack right by my work, and every day I walk in, when I go to lunch, when I leave, like I see them kind of fluctuate, and it can change massively, like
But
day to day.
Have you
I've
noticed
been
it's about
noticing-
80% lower? I mean, 80
Yeah,
cents
I
lower.
think 369 is what I
Yeah,
saw.
so-
yeah, it's been pushing down a little bit in the last week.
Yeah, so 80%. It's 80 cents lower a gallon overall for most of the places I look at. So that's good news.
Great
that's the good news. I'm happy. for
Last
that.
week.
When it's
We actually had a
369,
I mean,
week.
yesterday.
when it's 369 and you feel good about
I know,
it,
it's like,
man, we're
hey.
getting beat up.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you know what
know.
Yeah, I filled up. It was only $75.
So
But we did have a good week as far as gas prices. We also had a good week with mortgage rates, Jim.
that's what I was going to say next. The mortgage rates did not go up this week. They actually went down a little bit. Mike, how much did we save on our monthly mortgage payment this week?
Oh, well,
I'm
we don't
joking.
talk dollars and cents here. Or actually, we don't talk cents here. But yeah, it went down 0.05.
5.
Week over
0.05.
week.
So we're at 648 right now. We were at 653
Yeah.
last week, 648 this
So
week.
it's flat.
Once again, we're
Yes.
still in that 6 to 6.5 range pretty much for the last 18 months. So while it has gone up over the last couple of weeks, several weeks, while it has gone up, we're really kind of not cracking through that 6.5%
Yeah, we've been-
roughly.
We got down as low as, I'll just call it 6, right? And then we just, the political or the global
The world.
events,
The world.
jumped it up to 6.5.
Our little
Right.
incursion.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how you want to describe it, whatever
So,
it is, but
Yeah.
It's a
so
military
that's-
exercise.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. There you
geez.
go. So those are two good things. And the other good thing that happened was yesterday the jobs report came out and was very, very strong. And they reset things. I know Johnny always laughs when we talk about the job report.
Not just
And he's
Johnny this
usually-
time. The market is also laughing,
What, really? I didn't
little
catch
bit.
that.
right?
A little
Market
bit.
didn't respond.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
the
they didn't
way you would
respond.
expect.
No,
Yeah,
well-
the market's all okay.
Well, yeah, they had a reaction to that report, but it wasn't because they didn't necessarily believe the report.
Yeah.
They did believe the report and reacted to it. So that's why the stock market does not really show what the real economy is.
At all.
No, not at
Not
all.
at
It's
all.
not a reflection of the economy. So what happened is we created 172,000 jobs last month. Pretty amazing considering that all last year we were averaging 10,000 jobs created a month, right? And 172,000 is healthy, very healthy. But compared to 2023 and 2024, we were hitting 250,000 job creations a month. So what we're seeing is that because of now here's the bad side. So that's good. People are getting more employed. I have a little bit about that I want to talk to. So I had a really good thing from the New York Times, not AI. Okay, I'm using the New York Times, Johnny, so don't make fun of me.
Yeah, I love a sector breakdown. of these
Anytime I
jobs.
talk to Johnny about AI, he actually gets angry
Yeah,
about it.
I
He
do.
gets
It's our
angry.
demise, man.
I know.
It's our demise.
I don't see it that way.
Oh, it's destroying the planet.
So
We should
let me.
talk about it.
So the New York Times, when they came out, when the report came out, they did this analysis that I thought was really good. They went back to 2022 through 2026 and different job sectors to see what's going on with each of the different job sectors. So here's the thing: biggest growth, private education services are the biggest growth right now. We've had 3.7 million new jobs created since 2022. And if you look at the chart of the New York Times, it started going up in 2023, but it's on fire in 2026. Leisure and hospitality is the second biggest growth market, 1.8 million jobs over that 4-year period. Utilities, utility employees, 57,000.
I think
Could-
Walgreens is probably on this. I walked into a Walgreens yesterday and there was like 5 or 6 employees in there. And I was like, what bizarro world?
Yeah,
am
what's
I
going
in?
on with that? Yeah, exactly. Construction's up pretty significantly. Private education. Did I just say that? Private education services.
You said that
I'm
was
sorry.
number one.
I'm sorry. I read it because I was reading the charts wrong. Healthcare and social assistance had the 3, which makes sense. Healthcare, 3.7 million. And the reason why I'm saying that makes sense with healthcare, because of all the baby boomers, they're getting older and older. That market's probably going to be very strong for a long time.
Oh, yeah, always.
Government actually has been increasing over the last 2 years, which is kind of interesting because we lost so many Fed jobs.
I was going to say they've been trimming for
It's
so long. now
because
we're
the
adding.
city and the county and the state, I think.
Or they're just hiring back
Um,
people who were fired.
Things that are not doing good, things that are really, really flat for a very long time. Manufacturing, very, very flat. Retail trade, very, very flat. Information sciences, whatever that is, pretty flat. Federal government obviously is pretty flat. And what's the other one?
Where was
more.
private education in that list?
The top.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep reading these charts wrong. Okay, let me start over. Financial activities is pretty flat. Transportation and warehousing is kind of flat. Professional business services is flat. Manufacturing is barely alive as far as growth. Retail trade is the worst out of all of them. Over the last 4 years, retail trade has only increased by 29,000 jobs since 2022. And we're actually negative on the information sciences. I don't know what information sciences is,
I'm
but we're
surprised
actually
by that.
having negative 201,000 jobs there and negative 202,000 jobs in the federal government. They laid off like 350,000 people. That has kind of slowed down. They're not doing the layoffs that they were doing, when
earlier
at the
this year.
beginning of 2025. Yeah. So overall, the job market's improving, and they're saying that's good.
Yeah,
However,
it's always good if that's the case. Yeah.
yeah, but and wages have gone up
Oh, yeah.
3.4%. Unemployment is stuck at 4.3. When I say stuck, that's a good thing. 4.3 unemployment. If we ever get up to 6, you're going to wish you had 4.3.
So wages are keeping up with inflation?
No, that's the bad news. The bad news is that they expect that the inflation rate right now, reported right now, is 3.8%, including food and energy. If you take food and energy out, it's only 2.8%. But they're expecting that the next report, the economists are predicting that it's going to be in the 4s, right? We haven't been in the 4s for inflation for a couple of years now.
Mhm.
And I don't see that slowing down a little bit. I don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
And
So-
if you're looking for relief on mortgage rates, that's not good news,
right.
right?
Yeah.
If you're thinking, okay, this is back to what we always talked about: is inflation, which way is it going? And that's kind of drive essentially what the Fed's doing with their rate, and we're going to have mortgage rates kind of follow that trend.
It's going to be so interesting in the next Fed Reserve meeting because you got the new guy, Warsh, W-A-R-S-H, Warsh.
You
I
gotta
don't know
wash
how
your
to say
car.
it, like wash your car. I feel like a country person. Warsh is the Fed Reserve chairman now. Powell's still there. I don't think the Board of Governors is going to have an interest rate.
I don't think there's anybody who's predicting a rate decrease this year.
One person is.
Oh, one person? Oh,
the
hoping
top
for it.
guy is,
Yeah.
right? But I don't see how, the chairman is only one vote out of that whole group of people.
Yes.
So I don't see that. I agree with Mike that I don't see it happening either. And so that's another reason, besides this new constitutional amendment that may be passed.
Yep.
Another reason why if you're thinking about home buying right now, we might be at the best rates you're going to have for a little while. So if that's a thing that you're thinking and needed to do, is like, I really need to go buy a house for me and my family or myself, you really got to start thinking maybe now's the time just to stave off any potential future.
I mean, if anything,
costs.
it reinforces like how hard it is to really predict what's happening. And so, and
It's
if you're
very up
waiting,
and
if you're
down.
making your decisions based on these property tax, what's going to happen, or the interest rates, it's just there's no way to guarantee that you're right. If anything, you get lucky or not. And so it should not be your prime factor for your decision making. I would say right now, as a buyer, you have a lot more negotiating power than in recent memory, where you can get price concessions, seller credits, repair thing. Look at the example you gave there. Somebody basically fixed up a house in order to sell it. So there's an opportunity there to buy something that's move-in ready. Sellers are doing those types of things in order to, make their property more attractive. And so there's a lot that you can gain right now on the buy side that's really going to help your pocketbook, essentially, right? Like, you're going to keep money in the bank, which is oftentimes you need a lot of money. And if you have money left over after buying a new home, that's a great feeling, the great position to be in, right? Because you have money for moving expenses. Maybe you do need to fix some things up, or it's just nice to have a little nest egg when your economic situation is changing, right? Your budget is changing a little bit when you buy a home, usually. So, and right, like you're seeing that, like when you're negotiating
how
deals.
how many times have you told me the last couple of several buyers, Mike, I have too much money, I don't know how to spend it all, right?
Yeah.
Like with down payment assistance, the seller concessions and everything, there's just so much money available out there. And the sellers, if you find the motivated ones, not everybody's motivated, but the motivated ones, they're offering the seller concessions if they need to sell the house and the house hasn't moved yet. Now, you can avoid those seller concessions. I'm speaking as a listing agent. You could avoid those seller concessions, sellers out there, if you price your house correctly the first time.
Right.
But if you have it priced too high, they're going to start asking for concessions.
And there's one way to guarantee that you'll be able to take advantage of an optimum market when and if it comes. So, and that's to own a home. And if you don't own the home, you're not going to be able to take advantage of these property tax potential savings, or you're not going to be able to refinance a loan when interest rates come down to it like a crazy, if they ever get to some, more attractive number. You have to have a loan to refinance it. You have to own a home in order to take advantage. Now, you can either wait and say, I'm not going to buy a home until those stars are aligned, or you can say, hey, I'm going to buy a home now because the conditions are right for us. And then when the stars align, I'm really going to take advantage of it. Like, that's,
Exactly. And like I said, we're not trying to make anybody convince people to buy when they don't want to buy. But if you want to buy, this is not a bad time to be a buyer. And if we get into a different type of market, which we've seen a couple of times, you're going to wish you were in this market to buy.
Yeah. You if you're making the decisions to wait, but you've already run your numbers and you have a goal, I'm waiting for X. That's beautiful. You're in shape. If you're just creating scenarios in your own head as to what you're waiting for, let's put you in a much better position. Like, sit down with a professional, get an understanding of where you're at. You may actually be way closer to home ownership than you even realize. You could be way off too, but if that's the case, at least you get the path, understanding of what it's going to take, and then you get that goal. This is what I'm waiting for. But don't fill in the blanks on your own. Please don't do that. The time is right when it's right for you and your family, and all the numbers come together. That monthly obligation is what you're really most concerned with, but you got to find out what that number is. There's only one way to do that.
Go to the pros, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. I got a team of professionals. These are people that are amazing at what they do. And what's great is they do work as a team. So if you're buying a home, selling a home, stuck with a home, you don't know what to do, their goal is to do what you're trying to get done the best way for you and your family. And that's an amazing thing to find. I'm pushing you there. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. On Facebook, on YouTube. Consume away, share, and like. Change lives, including your very own, with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Like Mike Rao, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. Have a great weekend.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Like Ross Camarinets with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. I hope you have a great weekend.
I hope everyone does too. Call me to save money on your insurance so we can get to 500,000.
Yes.
Please.
Please.
Unless you don't like saving money.
Please.
I mean, if you don't like saving money, don't.
Call Ross anyway.
Yeah, we
can make it more expensive.
Ross will do it.
Taunt him a little bit. Be like, I don't like saving money, Ross. Don't bother. But it's a real simple process. Let's see if we can save you some cash. Plus, reach Ross and his team's goal of saving collectively $500,000 for you people this year in your property tax or your
insurance.
Insurance. You got to look into my vehicle insurance. I got to get you my information.
Oh, me too. I got to talk to you about
Yeah,
that.
seriously though. Jimmy D, Florida Home Pros. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you. Happy South Florida, everybody. I'm so out of here.
Have a good weekend. Jimmy D, you're the best. Thank you for everything.
Thanks, Johnny. Happy birthday again to Tiff, and have a great weekend, gentlemen.
Appreciate you. Stick around. I see Greek running around. I'm going to join him. We'll squeeze out some sports. We'll do Florida Talk Real Estate next Saturday. 2 hours of infotainment right here on Real Radio.